So in August of 2001, I was starting my life anew once again. And I was transitioning. I just sold my website, lukeford.com, for $25,000. So I had some money in the bank. Wasn't exactly sure where I was going next, and so I just decided to get out of town and to drive the coast. I love the coast of California. And I'd met this girl online who lived in Vancouver. So no, it's not transitioning to becoming a woman, but I met this girl online in Vancouver who looked cute in her pictures. And I thought, I'm just going to drive and maybe I'll end up in Vancouver and maybe lucky things will happen to me in Vancouver. So it was the end of August 2001, and I drove up the coast of California, taking the one highway, just Pacific Coast Highway. And on the way to Seattle, I had a childhood friends in Seattle. To drive from California to Seattle, I had to go through Oregon. I've never really thought about Oregon. I don't think prior to this time I ever thought about Oregon for longer than 5 minutes total in my life. Just never really registered. So what was it? It was a Friday morning. I was maybe 3 hours drive from the northernmost part of California, and I thought maybe I should try to make Portland for Shabbat. And so Friday morning I just started driving and transitioned from the coast to join up with the 5 freeway. Headed to Portland. It was about 100 degrees outside. I've been driving for about 5 hours. I pull over at a rest stop, and I'm driving a 1982 Dodge van. It's a 1-ton van. I've been sleeping in the back, saving on the hotel bills, but of course paying through the nose for gasoline. And stop at a rest stop, and my van won't start. It's hot. It burned out something to do with the starters. So I had to get towed to a mechanic. About 3 hours later, I get on the road. Now it's about 4 or 5 o'clock. There's no way, or 6 o'clock. There's no way I'm going to make Portland by Shabbat, but I drove into the night, land in Portland, and cross a bridge, just kind of looking for a place to pull over and go to sleep in the back of my van. So I just cross a bridge, take a side road, pull over, and Portland seemed nice. I've been taking the 5, okay, so it's not the most scenic of drives. Portland seemed nice. It was kind of weird that you had to pump your own gasoline. I knew there was like 5-cent deposit on bottles and cans for recycling. Portland seemed nice. I pull over just on a random street off the bridge in Portland. I guess I'm in the bad side of Portland, I find out later, but looked fine to me. I pull over, go to sleep. Next morning I look up local Orthodox synagogue. I go to a McDonald's, change into my Shabbat best, and park about a mile away from the synagogue. And when I see this Orthodox Jew walking by in a black hat, I jump out of my van and follow him to shul. And shul's really nice, and I met a woman. So I was like, yeah, this is looking up. And we agreed to go out that night. And so in preparation for that, on my walkabout in Portland that Saturday afternoon, I finally found a fountain, and I stripped down to my underwear and dipped in it a couple of times because I hadn't taken a shower in 5 days since I'd left Los Angeles. And so I went to pick up the woman, And one of the first things she says was, "Do you want to take a shower?" And I didn't before I went out. Like, I just picked her up. Oh man, come on, buddy, come on. Oh, I should have changed my lane. So Stinky Luke picks her up, takes her out to eat, and hadn't been sleeping well. Of course, I've been sleeping in the back of my van. So we go out to eat Saturday night on my first date with this woman, and tell the waitress, "Oh, you know, could you give me an herbal tea that will make me sleepy?" My date says, "Well, that's the first time I've heard that." So kind of missed my opportunity. But I finally went back to her place, finally took my long needed shower, and we were going to climb Mount Hood the next day. It's like, this is awesome. You meet a girl in synagogue, you take her to dinner, you spend the night at her place, then you get that long needed shower, and then you get to climb Mount Hood. That's what you do for a date in Oregon. You go climb Mount Hood. So the next day we went to Mount Hood. It was now September, and we climbed to the snow line. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it. I wasn't in great physical shape, but I just kind of hung in there, and we climbed all the way to the snow line. Then we ate like a delicious lunch that she'd prepared, bagels with cream cheese and sliced tomato and a pinch of salt, and it was awesome. So Sunday night I drove off to my friend's place in Seattle, but I wanted to come back, and after my adventures in Vancouver, I arranged that I come back, spend the next Shabbat with this woman and this Orthodox synagogue. And then at the synagogue I met all these other women. It's like Portland is overflowing with single Jewish women, and they were nice, and the rabbi was nice, the Rebbitzin was nice, everyone was nice. There was a nice sit-down lunch at the synagogue, and then I went for a long walk with one of the new women that I met at the synagogue, and this voice in the back of my head was like, maybe I should move here. I want to make a fresh start. And like, I met a woman, I met two women, I met multiple women right away, and everyone's nice. Now, I didn't take it seriously because I've always had these really lofty dreams for my life. You know, I was going to hit it big in Los Angeles, and you know, with my magnetic star power, I was going to be huge in Los Angeles. So I never did take it seriously. But in 2007, I got a consulting deal for a top 50 corporation worldwide. And I made about $13,000 in 5 weeks. And so I had some money in the bank, and I decided to go on a road trip with my then current girlfriend. And we just drove around, ended up in Coos Bay, Oregon. And just being back in Oregon, it was just so calming. It's like taking a long nature walk, which you don't understand the significance of unless you live in a big city. And I think a lot of it has to do with Oregon is just so white. I just immediately feel comfortable there. The coast in Oregon is every bit as beautiful as the coast in California, but it's just an entirely different type of scenic quality. And again, being back in Coos Bay, being back in Oregon, it just did something to my heart. It's like you meet a girl, and like on paper, you know, she's not an 8 or a 9 or a 10, but she just makes your heart go pitter patter. Well, that's what Oregon did to me. It just makes my heart go pitter patter. And I do a lot of streams with Dennis Dale, who lives in Portland. And when he goes for a walkabout in Portland and turns his camera on, and I'm just right back on the beautiful streets of downtown Portland. Oh, I just so much want to be back in Portland. I want to be back in Oregon. It just seems so clean and white and nice and comfortable and relaxing and chill, and just, yeah, so much beauty. And you go hiking on Mount Hood, and the beaches are clean and largely deserted, and I mean, the fog and the weather. I mean, yeah, I've been living in Los Angeles for 25 years. I love that it's sunny here 330 days a year. But looking at these pictures of Portland, it just does something to me. It reminds me of growing up in Australia, where the country was 95% white when I was growing up there. Then it reminds me of when I came to California in 1977. I was in the Napa Valley, I was in Northern California, and again, it was just overwhelmingly, dominantly white. And nice and clean and unpolluted, and low crime rates, and just an easy connection with other people. You don't have to constantly be on your guard as you do when you're in a diverse area. So, of course, I'm a romantic. I always imagine that there's more to a place or to a person than there really is. All my life, I've had this tendency to yearn for other places far away. In AA, they call it doing a geographic, where you feel like the solution to your problems is just to get up and move. And so, okay, rationally, I know that's not true. And I love LA, love the excitement of the big city, love the opportunity. I love that there are just so many high-quality intellectuals and writers that I know and can meet and see in Los Angeles. So I would miss the intensity of that intellectual and writing community if I moved away from this megalopolis. So if you're a writer, it's really important to be around other writers. And I enjoy being able to go to shul with people who write movies, direct movies, television. They're professors. They're highly accomplished people. There are a lot of really smart Jews in Los Angeles. But yeah, my heart just goes pitter-patter for Oregon. There's wide open spaces, all that greenery, the clean streets, the absence of trash. Like, you don't see as much of the pause. You don't see as much, filth and degradation. It's just like well-kept neighborhoods, nice people, low crime rates. But maybe I just need to get in contact with the Oregon in my soul. Okay, listen to a little Vangelis, look at videos of the Oregon coast. Maybe I just need to earn some more money so I can take a vacation. I have not taken a vacation since 2014. I went back to Australia for 2.5 weeks. And then prior to that, I had a couple of weekend trips to Salt Lake City. And prior to that, it might have been my 1 week driving vacation with my girlfriend in 2007. So maybe I just yearning to hit the open road, drive up the Pacific Coast Highway to Oregon, and just spend a few days there, see what it does for me. Get to hang out with Dennis Dale, cross the border, meet my new friend Kevin Michael Grace. That's where my soul wants to go. It wants to go flying up the Pacific Coast Highway. I want to be beside the ocean when it's clean, when I'm around socially desirable people, when I'm around people like myself, I'm around people that I can feel comfortable with. I love the West Coast of the United States. I love California. I've lived here since 1977. But California is so overpopulated now and filthy and diverse. So white person just doesn't feel nearly as comfortable as he used to. You can still find pockets of whiteness in California, but Oregon, state of Washington, those are white-topias. And I know a lot of people there. Like, these are natural places for white people to move. Kevin McDonald lives in the Portland area. I mean, I know a lot of people in the Pacific Northwest. Oh my God, that woman. Whoa. Blonde. Whoa, so much skin. Whoa, I need my higher power now. Lord, whatever it is that I'm looking for in that woman's body, let me find it in you. Whew. That's why I wanted to move to LA, because I was watching MTV when it first came out in 1982, and there were all these hot chicks in these music videos that were shot in Los Angeles, and I thought, I gotta move to LA. Then when I talked to my friends, we'd all go, oh, the women in Los Angeles, they're really loose. They really lack sexual morals. We need to get to LA, we'll just clean up. Getting in touch with my inner Oregon right now. My inner Portland. My inner downtown Portland. I want to get in touch with the clean streets in my own soul. I want to do a cleansing of my own neshama, getting rid of all the filth and the pause, the degradation and the tendencies to use and exploit other people and to live in lies. I haven't slept too well the last couple of nights, so I may be a little more loopy than normal, but at least that's opened up my soul. I want the greenery and the cleanliness, just be around my fellow whites. Nice Jewish community in Portland, nice Orthodox synagogues, nice hiking, the air is clean, love the oceans in Oregon. I love this fog in Coos Bay. That's where Steve Prefontaine used to run.